legally where this matter is going now, and we are due to get an update from our lawyers at 5 o'clock today. They've been in court for the better part of today. They will finish at 4:30, quarter to 5. He will be here to address the members of Marine Ports in relationship to that injunction that has been taken out by the minister. And until then, unless you have a question that I can help to clarify as far as this matter goes, I can't really say much more on it.
Bottom line is the minister has forced an injunction. So, in other words, saying this is illegal action that your organization is taking.
Well, I think that the only thing that I would say in that regard that I was a bit surprised to know that an injunction was taken out in light of the decision that the workers took yesterday afternoon in relationship to the ferry service today, because I think that the decision that they took was that from this morning the ferry service was going to be suspended. And after that, they took that decision. My secretary sent out an email to the minister to let him know what was going to take place. I then received a telephone call from Francis Richardson, who is the permanent secretary for transport, to ask me whether or not I'm prepared to have a meeting. And we arranged to meet at 5 o'clock yesterday. So at 5:05 yesterday, Mr. Richardson called me to say that, Mr. Ferry, I just want to give you a heads up that, the minister is seeking to go get an injunction at 5:30 in the courts. And I said to him, well, I thought we was having a meeting at 5 o'clock. Based on that meeting didn't come off because I said, well, we're not going to meet if I know that the minister's in court trying to get some kind of injunction. I looked at it as being an opportunity for the two parties to sit down, have some discussion about sorting these issues out, because at the LAC meeting on Friday, that's what we discussed. In light of the matter of Princess that happened a couple of weeks ago, that before we either end up in a matter being referred to arbitration or getting other parties involved, that the two parties will attempt to resolve the matters themselves. And I thought by agreeing to meet 5 o'clock yesterday, that's exactly what we were going to do. So I believe, and this is my belief, that the injunction that the minister got yesterday afternoon was premature, because he didn't know exactly what was going to come out of that meeting yesterday. He didn't know at 5 o'clock. Because I agreed, as soon as Mr. Richardson said, could we meet at 5 o'clock? Without hesitation, I said, yes, we can meet at 5 o'clock, and I organized my team to be here at 5 o'clock, which they were.
Was it Mr. Otterbury's chair as well?
And yes, let me just say also what happened is that I received a call from Workforce Development. Gabriella Stewart called me and asked me whether or not she can come, and she was offering some mediation or conciliation services. And I said, look, I don't need them per se, but if you call Mr. Richardson and he says that it's okay if you come along, I'm fine with that. She called me back about 4:15, 4:30, said Mr. Richardson said we can come along. So at 5 to 5, Ms. Gabriella Stewart from Workforce Development showed up. So the director of Workforce Development, Mr. George Otterbury, they were both here at 5 o'clock to sit down and have a discussion with the parties about the way forward.
What's the next course of action?
Well, I just said the next course of action is that our lawyers will be here. Lawyer will be here at 5 o'clock to update the workers of Marine Ports about the injunction, what it means in this process, and then he'll take whatever questions that the membership have for him.
So the ferry is running tomorrow morning?
Right, Mr. Vip, I can't tell you that one way or the other. The members will meet with our lawyers this afternoon, and they'll make that decision.
Do you know when we might hear a word as to whether there will be service tomorrow?
All I can tell you is that the meeting is going to be held this afternoon at 5 o'clock with our legal team. I can't tell you what's going to happen after he speaks to them, what decision they're going to make. That decision lies with the membership of the BIU, of the Port Works Division, of the Marine and Ports Division of the BIU.
We do know there's some issues with the Parks Department. Any updates on that?
Well, all I can tell you is that I mentioned this when we had our press conference on February 6th, that there are some live issues at the Parks Department, some live issues at Marine and Ports that the minister needs to be aware of, and so do the heads of the department, right? I mentioned it again at the LAC on Friday to the minister, that we've got these issues that need to be addressed, and if they're not addressed, there are some very serious concerns we're facing. The issue for the Parks Department right now is highlighted because, the letter was sent to the minister concerning those two departments. The JCC meeting that was scheduled for Parks Department last week, Thursday, got postponed. The health and safety meeting that was scheduled for yesterday got postponed. And it looks like the management team is just taking our members for granted. You know, how do we get these matters resolved when we're not sitting on having proper JCCs or proper health and safety meetings to go ahead and resolve these matters? Oh, that's going to add frustration to the process, you know. That's all it's going to do. The BIU and its members will try to resolve these issues. So I'm trying to tell the management team, if you're going to counsel these meetings and not sit down and have the dialogue we're going to have, you're going to expect that the members are going to be frustrated about the entire process, that it's taken too long.